everybody, my name is Python and welcome back to another episode here of Minecraft Survival from Python's World. Yep, no fancy montage intro today, my friends, because I want to get straight on with what I want to get on with in today's episode. The first thing I want to do is I want to show you folks some improvements that I have made to this double skeleton farm. You might notice it's not around here. It's actually in the inner workings of the skeleton farm itself. More specifically, the bottom skeleton spawner room. So here I am on my camera account, and we're down here at the bottom skeleton spawner room, and this is where the improvements have been made. This was suggested to me by you folks in the comments area, and then upon seeing those suggestions, I wanted to confirm that this would actually work. So I found a video from Wattles, who went ahead and showcased this very thing here. So what we have is we've got ourselves another water source, bringing the skeletons all the way over here. They then go atop this fence, and then, of course, into the bubble elevator. And as you can see, we no longer have any water gaps. So basically, the skeletons will always wind up going into the elevator. There's no longer any kind of delay. You might notice there is a block gap back here, and that's because what that does is it helps to suck the skeletons into this here water elevator, and you know, then they go up and down to the kill chamber eventually. So yeah, a big old thank you to you folks who suggested to me that we make those improvements. They definitely have made a notable improvement to the rate in which the skeletons fall down to the kill chamber. So yeah, very, very handy dandy. Thank you. And of course, full credit where it's due, Wattles' video showcasing this little mechanic here will be in the description down below, and indeed on screen. So that was job 1, showcasing the skeleton farm improvements. Job 2 is grabbing myself a whole bunch of iron from this here giant iron vein, simply because we need it. Hey! Iron resource blocks. Oh yeah, that's going to boost our supplies real nice like, isn't it? So, while we continue to grab ourselves a bunch of iron from this here mega iron vein, it gives me an opportunity to say a massive thank you for all of your lovely support throughout this series. I very much appreciate it. Of course, if you want to continue supporting these episodes and indeed the channel here, I'd really appreciate it if you'd consider dropping a like beneath the videos. And if you're new around here, hit that subscribe button while those bell notifications turned on, and you'll be the first to know when the future episodes go out. Another iron resource block? Don't mind if I do. Ha! There's a little bit of gold mixed in as well. Can you imagine if you could get like super large gold and emerald and diamond veins, albeit extremely, very, 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 very rarely? That would be quite special, wouldn't it? But I can understand why they don't have that in the game, because that would be kind of nuts. A stack and a half of iron ore with some iron resource blocks to top up our supplies. I think that's a pretty good amount to be getting on with for now. I should mention as well, that's not the first time I've done some iron mining inside of that giant iron vein. Since the last episode, I got myself a whole bunch as well. So that stack and a half of iron ore, oh no, that's not even scratching the surface. Alright, I've got this creeper down to one shot. I wonder if we could have a little bit of CD time here. Come on, Skelly. Ah, yes. What was that? Ward. Alright, so we've got 13, cat, precipice, creator, and now ward. Oh my goodness me, there are so many more CDs to get. It's kind of nuts. But yeah, here we are. Check it out. We actually have just over 3 full stacks of deep slate iron and a grand total of 5 iron resource blocks. So what do we think? Is it time for a little bit of fortune mining? I think so. So, anyone want to hazard a guess at just how many bits of iron we're going to get from this? Bearing in mind we're starting with just over 3 stacks of iron ore, and on average I feel like you get around double yield when it comes to fortune 3 mining. I am actually going to go adventurous for once. I'm going to guess 7 stacks. So let's grab out our fortune pick and let's mine this stuff. Oh yeah, I'm not taking into consideration the iron we get from this, by the way. This is just from the iron ore. So let's do this thing. Alright, my friends, we're just about there. How many bits of iron did we get? Let's have a look, shall we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nearly 7.5 stacks of raw iron. With Fortune 3. Starting with just over 3 stacks of iron ore. Hey, that's not bad, is it? That's not bad at all. I actually underestimated, and I felt like I was being adventurous with my estimation. Wow! So, now you're going to tell me I don't have enough coal to smelt up those bits of iron, right? Oh, wait, no, hang on. So, actually, we've got more than enough. Heck yeah! Oh, man, I love it when I'm prepared, even though I didn't realise I was prepared. Alright, blast furnaces could go down. And we can get this smelting underway. So that's job 2 out of the way. Kind of a multi-part job, that one. But one that I very much needed to get done. The next job I want to get on with is trying to integrate our farmland area into the settlement just a little bit better. Just by decorating the land around it. You know, do a little bit of Operation Place Down Bushes and bone meal everywhere. Some of you folks were saying that a bunch of mobs can just, you know, jump over the hedge fences here and get into the farm. And you know what? You're totally right. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of a something about that, shall we? Gonna get rid of some of these here grass blocks. That would probably be a good start. Wait, is that it? Seriously? That's all we needed to do? Huh, that was easy. Alright, so this place is now safe from the outside world. Alright, so there we are. Nice and simple. Just a few leaf litters, wildflowers, bushes, and bone meal placed down. And there we have it. The farmland is now nicely integrated into my settlement here. Very good. My next job is to go ahead and maybe enchant myself a bunch of books with all of the levels that we've gotten and are getting. Look at that, we're up to 36. We can do 3 level 30 standard enchants back to back. However, before we do anything, I need myself just a little bit more leather so I can make myself some more books. Good day to you, sirs. What are you doing at my entrance? Boom, boom, and dead. There we are. Right, that's the trash taken care of. Right, now we need to go hunting for some leather. And yeah, I know. I've got a cow farm, and I probably should have gotten to breeding those folks up far, far sooner than I would have been able to just, you know, cull some of those folks. But sadly, me and forward thinking don't really go hand in hand, sadly. So, in Minecraft news, my friends, a couple of days from now, the 25th of March, 2025 to be exact, you will be able to get your hands on this update, which has now been officially named. And rather appropriately for the time of year it's being released, it's called Spring to Life. That is the name of this update. You'll be able to grab your hands on these here leaf litters, wildflowers, different variants of animals, way cheaper lodestone recipes, and loads more. So yeah, if you're not playing the snapshot versions and you're instead waiting for the stable ones to come out, you've only got a couple of days to wait at the time of this video being released. So our first book is going to be Power 4, and you know what? That is most welcome. We can upgrade our bow up to Power 5 now. What do we got next? Protection 3. Nah, we're gonna go for top tier enchants or bust with this thing. I mean, look at that, efficiency 3. I mean, that's just a case of ill. Nah, I don't want none of that. Alright, very good. So we've got Unbreaking 3 coming up next, which is always going to be welcome. You might remember none of our armor that we enchanted in the last episode has Unbreaking, so yeah, this is definitely welcome. You know what would be the ultimate in good luck today? Is if we manage to get ourselves a looting 3 book. Then we could increase the amount of drops we get from this here double skeleton farm by an incredible amount. I mean, don't get me wrong, the amount of stuff we have going on here, and indeed, in the barrels here, is kind of staggering. Like, it's probably more than any one person is ever gonna need. But you know what? I want even more. And hey, looting is used for other things as well. You know, getting with the skelly skulls and all that kind of stuff. Loyalty 3. I mean, sure. If we ever get a trident, that'd be kind of nice. Hey! Quick charge 1 at a level 30 standard enchant? That is appalling. How is this allowed? What? You know what? We've got 10 bits of lapis left, so I think we'll just keep going until we run out of lapis. We seem to be inadvertently gearing ourselves towards getting ourselves a decent trident, eh? Impaling 4 as well as loyalty 3. Oh, what? Silk touch on top of it. Well, that's a weird one. So close, and yet so far. Alright. Well, unfortunately, my friends, we are just about out of lapis. I mean, honestly, we didn't get a great deal of books out of all that Blast Protection 4. That would have been nice to have for future sets of armor. But, yeah, this is what we managed to get. I mean, it's not the worst haul I've ever had, but... yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like enchanting books just isn't worth it. I don't know. I just feel like it's far more rare to get good enchants from enchanting books than it is to enchant, you know, actual bits of gear. It's almost as if books have a lower enchantability value. And what I mean by that is if you were to have yourself like one of every tier of weapon, like a wood sword, gold sword, stone sword, diamond sword, all that kind of stuff, apparently the gold sword has the better chance of getting good enchants compared to the rest of the tiers. I just feel like books are probably down the bottom of the table when it comes to enchantability. But again, I can't complain too much. We've got power 4 for our bow, we've got unbreaking for one of our bits of armor, and a couple of bits here for an eventual trident, or we could put the silk touch on this here axe, and then we could pick up bookshelves directly. So to bring our bow up to power 5 requires only 5 levels. That's nice and easy. And then when it comes to our armor, I think we're gonna go for the one that's got the least amount of durability, which I think is actually the helmet here. Putting Unbreaking 3 on that only costs 3 levels. Yeah. Do you know what? Instead of putting Silk Touch on an axe, why don't we put Silk Touch on an eventual diamond hoe instead? Then it would essentially become a souped up pair of shears, right? We can grab ourselves leaves with absolute ease then. And do you know what? It's not even like we're going to be losing out on trident enchants. It turns out we already had a channeling book. So channeling plus loyalty 3. That's not a bad little combo right there, my friends. We could get ourselves charged creepers and then grab ourselves mob heads with all that. So then, my friends, the next odd job for today's episode is we are finally going to get round to curing that zombie villager we have had captured in a boat for the longest time. So, let's create ourselves some bottles. Let's convert them into water bottles. Get these in here, and a little bit of blaze powder for some fuel. Okay, lovely stuff. Oh yeah, that's right. And then we also need one of these bad boys to convert it into a splash potion. Hey, advancement time for your boy as well. Ha! All right, that's pretty cool. Hey, we're going to get ourselves another advancement for curing the zombie villager as well, right? So, that's kind of cool. There we are. Splash potions of weakness have been obtained. What is the time situation looking like? Not that great. The moon is descending. Come on, Python. You gotta be super quick about this, buddy. F3B. Bring up the hitboxes so I don't accidentally hit the villager zombie. And now we're gonna see if we can't get this guy to follow us down to the farmland area. Come on. Keep on following there, broski. Right, he's in. Very good. And we do a little bit of that. Right. Splash potion and golden apple. And that's it. We just need to play the waiting game now. So, while that villager zombie is curing, I thought what we could do to wrap up today's episode is we could finally make use of this area here. Now, we have ourselves carrots, potatoes, beetroot, and wheat. However, what we don't have is an area for pumpkins and melons to grow. And so, that's what I am going to convert this area into. We're going to do a little bit of Operation Flatten, and then we're going to make it into like a pumpkin slash melon meadow type thing. And it's going to be a similar-ish design to what we've got going on at the farmland area, in that we're going to have ourselves a bunch of hedgerows, basically separating the pumpkins from the melons. And all in all, just to make it look nice. So here we are with some melon seeds, and here we are with some pumpkin seeds. And check it out, we can get ourselves a whole bunch more of both. Just gotta break the melons down into their melon slice form and then do just a little bit of this. There we go. Zombie doctor advancement achieved. Hey there, buddy. Welcome to my settlement. You're the first ever villager. Ah, the first of hopefully many. So the question is, what kind of trades are you offering? You've got beetroot and you've got potatoes. That's actually pretty good. We've already got 2 out of 4 of the different crop trades that you can get. It just means that the second farmer villager we eventually get needs to purchase carrots and wheat. So, let's do ourselves a bit of a something here. If we whip out a fortune pickaxe, then what we should be able to do is we should be able to get a far higher yield of potatoes per crop that we pop off here. What do we got? Oh, wow, that's a lot of potatoes. 6 stacks. And then after having planted down the next load of potatoes, we've got still just over 5 stacks. Excellent. All right, here you go, buddy. Have some potatoes. Mr. Enderman, can you not make me jump out of my skin, please? I don't appreciate that. So coming up next, we can sell this guy a singular pumpkin for an emerald. So actually, it's pretty darn good that we're going ahead and doing a little bit of a something about our pumpkin and melon growing situation, eh? Talking of which, how about we get on with a little bit of Operation Flatten? Alrighty, folks. So, I don't think I'm going to go for an entirely flat area. I want this place to sort of mold with the terrain, if that makes sense. Make it look a bit more sort of natural, if you will. These torches represent where the melons and pumpkins are going to grow, and then the seeds will go right next to them, for example, here in this case. And then if there's any, like, little singular gaps remaining, I think what I'll simply do is just put down a piece of long grass or a flower or something. So this would be an example of one of the little lanes. So, judging by how big this lane is, or how wide it is, more to the point, I'm going to suggest that maybe we can get 2, maybe even 3 more lanes in at a push. I guess there's only really one way to find out, isn't there? Let's go to sleep and let's get these lanes put in. What in the world is happening here? Yeah, kind of difficult to unpack what just happened there. I can only assume, putting on my little detective hat here, I can only assume that what happened there was the zombies were set on fire by the sunlight, and then the llama got annoyed at the zombies, tried to hit them, or more to the point, spit at them, and then the zombies on fire hit the llama, and that set the llama on fire, and wound up unaliving it. I know, I'm a terrible person. That's not something that should be laughed at, but, you know. I'm sorry. You know what? I might be sacrificing our crop yield a little bit, but I feel like I want to make crisscross intersections in this to make each lane just a tiny bit easier to get to. And especially when it comes to this lane here, this one kind of leads to nowhere. It leads to just a wall. And that, of course, is not really that useful to our cause, is it? So yeah, crisscross intersections, I think, are most definitely the way to go. You might notice that I am using coarse dirt for the little pathways here, as opposed to path blocks. And, I don't know, I just think they look a little bit better for in here. Alrighty, so, looks like we're only going to have 3 lanes of pumpkin and melon growth areas, but you know what? That works totally fine. In this remaining area around here, I'm thinking of just doing a little bit of Operation Restore Nature. Add some trees, bone meal the ground. You know how it goes at this point, folks. Alright, I think the way we're going to add the water sources in is by waterlogging trapdoors. It's probably about the best I can do. Only, yeah, the color difference between the spruce trapdoors and the coarse dirt, it's not that different, is it? Like, I think we can work with it. And hey, if anything, it helps to add a little bit of texture variation. So here we go. 1, 2, 3 with the water bucket. Just got to fill in the last few of these here trapdoors. Open them up just to make sure they are indeed waterlogged. Yep, there we are. And this was the final one. Yep. There we go. All right, so now when we go ahead and till this here ground, it should all wind up being moisturized. Now what we can do is we can start getting these bad boys placed down. I think what we're going to do is we're just going to simply alternate. We're going to have ourselves melons, then pumpkins, and then melons, and then pumpkins, etc., so on and so forth. And as I'm sure it goes without saying, we can now start getting rid of these torches. So the pumpkins can start sprouting into existence. And I'm going to need them to, super quick like, so I could spread some more of these seeds around. Oh wait, hang on, I've just realized something. The melons / pumpkins might be able to sprout on here. Ah, we should probably do something about that. What if I was to just grab some string and just place it upon that block? That should be enough to stop the melons and pumpkins sprouting onto it, right? So there we are. Bit of string placed there. We'll need another one here, and then I believe another one here. And that should be it. Hey, and what was I saying about us needing these pumpkins and melons super quick to be able to spread more around? Aw, yeah. And just like that, there we are. All the pumpkins and all the melons have now been placed down. All we need to do is just wait for them to grow, and then we can marvel at just how lovely this area looks. So here we are, folks. Pumpkins and melons galore. Absolutely fantastic. In fact, let's go ahead and pick up some of these pumpkins so we can level up that farmer villager we've got. Maybe we can see if we can max his level and thus grant us access to golden carrot trade. Only, you know, you get yourself golden carrots as a permanent food source and you're pretty much good to go. Up until you get golden apples as a permanent food source. If you manage to get that far and make a gold farm, that is. But anyways, for now, let's do a little bit of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, look at that. Bullseye. And we've got bang on a full stack of emeralds as well. All right, what have we got next? Melons. Yeah, I know. It's like a Minecraft sin to go ahead and chop up melons and pumpkins with a pickaxe, but I don't have silk touch on my axe, so bite me. All right, another level up, please. Wow, only 4 were required that time. Hey, you're not doing too bad, eh? So coming up next, we've got sauce stews. Or we could purchase ourselves a ton of these here cookies, but since I'm using the English UK language, they are in fact called biscuits. So let's go for some of these. And what we should be able to do with these is, yeah, get ourselves a bunch of bone meal. Blimey, these are very, very good for composting, as it turns out. They seem to have a very high percentage chance to fill up the composter. I got bleeding loads of bone meal so far. And we've still got 2 stacks of cookies to go. Oh, hey, you know what we should do for that one advancement where you have to eat one of every type of food in Minecraft, good or bad? Maybe we should chomp on a cookie. There we are. I mean, they do only replenish 1 hunger bar, but you know, it's better than none, and it's certainly better than getting poisoned. 26 bone meal, that's what we got? Blimey. Alright, and here we are. Glistering melon slices for instant health potions, and the almighty, we done got it, my friends. We have upgraded to the golden carrot era. So then, my friends, I think on that note, it is going to be time to wrap up today's episode, but we have the comment of the day to do. Matt Bowden asks, hey Python, will the hardcore live streams be coming back? Love a chilled stream. And actually, it was many of you folks asking this question. I just picked a person at random to receive the shout out. But yeah, in terms of the hardcore streams, I gotta be honest with you, I'm not gonna try and sugarcoat it. I wound up personally enjoying the streams less and less the longer the series went on. And I just kind of decided, after certain IRL events transpired, I just kind of decided I don't particularly want to be spending my life doing things I don't want to do. I kind of just enjoy being a YouTuber. I really do. Just normal edited style content as I have done for the last 14 and a half years, near enough. It's what I know, it's what I love, and being able to edit around my constant stumbling of words, as I'm sure you guys realized I do quite a lot of in my live streams, being able to edit around that to try and get my point across a little bit easier, it's just, I just prefer doing it. It's as simple as that. So I do apologize for disappointing some of you folks who, you know, were maybe enjoying the live streams. I do apologize about that, but Yeah, I think I'm just going to call it a day with the streams from here forth. I mean, at the end of the day, we've still got a pretty full roster, haven't we? We've got Minecraft and Vintage Story on this channel here, and then both Terraria and Ark over on the GB channel. And I feel like I've got a very nice balance with all of the series to the point where each episode from each series is posted no more than, say, 3 days apart. So, you know, I've got something good going on, and I don't want to jeopardize that, you know? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think that's the old saying, right? But again, I do apologize to those of you who were enjoying the streams. But hopefully that has cleared things up. I know there's been a lot of you folks in the comments area asking about them, so I thought I would go ahead and just sort of address it here now today. So, on that note, time to wrap up the episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed today's episode, of course you're excited to see more, I'd really appreciate it if you drop a like if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button and don't forget to ding that bell if you don't want to miss out on my future content. For now though, thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I shall see you folks in the next episode. Bye bye!